If Dirty does it and Dirty said it in 30 minutes, I've been legit in business for more than 30 minutes. Oakland to Vegas, Aldo, Mark Davis, Keza the Coliseum, a silver and black famous. Black hole energy at the center of Death Star. Raiders bring the magic, we competition with Pixar. 3 different decade champion wins don't fade. Dirty is the name of Matter legacy, you can't stain. Once a Raider, always a Raider, that's the motto, right? Just win, baby, like the torches set the iron sights. Got the shield ready, all them wins get us through the fight. Outlaws of the league, Raider Nation going worldwide.
Yo, what's the deal? 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allowed me to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated. More than I can verbally express, ladies and gentlemen. Ho, so much to talk about. Good things, bad things, great things. Hey, things are things. Bruce Willis, my guy, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you, man. Blessings to you. Raider Knight, my guy, blessings to you, brother. Hope all is well. Hope you guys are doing swell. Hope life has got good things for you. You know what I mean? I wish nothing but the best for everyone. You know what I mean? Wish nothing but the best for everyone. Look, so we got one coach today. You know what I mean? Added to the staff. I feel like is a great addition to the staff. Saw what he did last year as an interim head coach for Tennessee. Liked how the team performed under his leadership. They seem to have gotten better. So the Raiders added Mike McCoy to our coaching staff, and we added him as the assistant head coach, if I'm not mistaken, the assistant head coach. So this is I'm sorry, hold on, wrong screen. Replace that one. I like the Wikipedias. I like doing the Wikipedias. They're much better. And I can. All right, there we go. Let's get this right. All right, so you can see he was with the Carolina Panthers from 2000 to 2008. Coaching staff appearing in the Super Bowl with the team. The 2008 season, he went to Denver. 2009 quarterback coach. Following year, passing attack ranked 7th. He revamped the Broncos offense in 2011 to accommodate Tim Tebow's skill set. He went to the Chicago Bears. Bears, Arizona Cardinals. In addition to the Bears, Arizona Cardinals, Buffalo Bills, San Diego Chargers, and Philadelphia also granted permission. When asked, McCoy, being a hothead coach candidate, drew John Fox, San Diego Chargers in 2013. So he's been around. He went back to the Broncos in 2017, Cardinals in 2018, offensive coordinator, Jacksonville in 2022, quarterbacks coach. So, I mean, yeah, like the hire, a lot of experience, man. Bruce, he's got a lot of experience, Bruce. You know what I mean? Tennessee Titans, and now, as of today, assistant head coach under Clint Kubiak. I think this is a great guy to have under Clint Kubiak as the assistant head coach. Coming off a head coaching interim job last year with the Tennessee Titans. We all know how that turned out. So I think with the experience that he has, with the knowledge of football that he has, with the ability to get a team to perform to the best of its ability, that's there. So I feel like this is a great hire. I feel like this is a really good hire. I feel like going in the right direction, right? I feel like we're definitely headed in the right direction. So, bravo to that. You know what I mean? Definitely bravo to that. Plus, I think he knows his pops too, so he's comfortable with him too. Yeah, he does. He definitely knows Clint Kubiak's pops. He was there during that time. He was there during that time frame. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've run into each other. If nothing else, they've definitely run into each other. So, yeah, I mean, I know he wasn't there with Kubiak because he was there with Tebow. So I would say this is a guy who was there with McDaniels. He had to be there with Mike McDaniels or Josh McDaniels, or y'all know who I'm talking about. That dude. He had to be there with him. So yeah, I love this hire. I'm being straightforward about it. I love this hire. There we go. So let's take this off the screen. I'll stop sharing that one. We'll bring me back up. So don't know how to feel about the assistant head coach. Hey, Joel Lee, what up, man? Blessings to you, man. Raider Pete, what it do, Brody? Blessings. Feel great about it, Joel Lee. For real. Feel great about it, man. This is what we're talking about right now. This is a great hire, man. This is a great hire. I mean, we still have to wait to see how everything pans out, turns out, things of that nature. But I'm telling you, man, this is a great hire right here, man. This is definitely a great hire. Steps in the right direction is what is required. You know what I mean? And I feel like that is what we're taking. You know what I mean? Steps in the right direction. So I'm happy. I'm actually happy about this hire. I really am. I feel like my prayers are being answered. My letters are being answered. I can't, you know what I mean? It's Gam, what's good with you, Gam? Blessings to you, Brody. Hey man, I'm gonna have to hook up with you, Gam, because I know you live in the area. You know what I mean? Not technically my area, Riverside, but I know you live close to me, Brody. And because I met you at the game and you told me you lived out here in this area. So holla at me, Brody. We're gonna have to chop it up, man. Get some lunch or something, bro. You know what I mean? Because you've been around since day one, homie. So we're gonna have to chop it up and get some lunch one day. He said my bro is a diehard Titans fan. He said McCoy is solid for sure, man. Hey, look, I think he is too. It's better to hire ex head coaches. Yeah, it is. It is. It's better to hire uh ex head assistants when having a first time young head coach. Yeah, most definitely, bro. It is. Because they have some knowledge of how things are supposed to go. Things that could be passed down to him. You know what I mean? Knowledge that he's going to need. And I love the fact y'all don't like the assistant. I don't know. Y'all don't like the assistant. However, or I think that's however. I don't know much about him, but heard he had a solid resume. Yeah, he does. He has a solid resume. You know what I mean? This is a guy who can definitely come in here and do what we're asked. Do what's asked of us, you know what I mean? Do what we want to see be done, which is turn this team around, get it up on the right foot, and things of that nature. Wherever we interviewed, who have we interviewed for our DC? We've interviewed a couple of people, but I want to get into something that was done at the presser. It was a question that Kubiak was asked. So let's get into that real quick and take a listen to the question asked and then take a listen to the answer. This was impressive to me. You know what I mean? This was something that I felt was in the dude because, as you guys know, I've been screaming Kubiak, Kubiak, Kubiak for a while, right? And that's not to toot my own horn, nothing like that. This is just somebody, when I dove into the resumes of people who were available for head coaching, this one stood out, right? The way players talked about him, things of that nature, all of that stuff stood out. So he was asked this question, and yeah, let's take a listen.
Coach Alan Snell, lvsportsbiz.com. What are your key factors for instilling some stability at the coaching ranks here in Vegas for a franchise that's gone through so many coaches here?
Yeah, well, to me, it's what happens, years in advance is something I'm not thinking about right now. We're trying to put together a great staff of teachers, and we got to get some really good teachers here and coaches, and get us all on the same page and get our players going in the same direction. That communication is really important. I think if we can put together a great staff here, and get our players up to date on these playbooks and the things we expect of them, and then let the results speak for themselves after that. But the NFL, you have to earn the second game. Like this league, if you don't take care of business, then you get chewed up and spit out real quick. And every one of us up here has been through that. So I'm going to have to earn the right to coach this whole season, to coach the next season. I got to show Mr. Davis that our program is about the right things, and we're developing these players. So I don't take for granted how long I'm going to be here. I know that I have to earn it.
You see that? Somebody who knows tomorrow's not guaranteed. That's the type of coach that I wanted, bro. All these people coming in here asking for these extra years and, oh, that guy, look, this is the type of coach you want. He knows that every day his job is on the line. Because if you come in here preaching a good game and talking big Billy badass, but then you're like quiet as a church mouse when it's time to rumble, then what's all the chit chat for? Right? What's all the chit chat for? So for me, listening to the question, listening to the answer, and then watching the move that was made today, I don't know how you could be upset. You know what I mean? I don't see how you get upset. There's another one that I want to also touch on because it was kind of like the same question, but not really the same question. It came from Amber Theo Harris, our beautiful, beautiful announcer that is on that's on our show that we have weekly. Here it is. Yeah, this one right here. So, everybody knows the Raiders have their own show, right? Amber Theo Harris, Eric Allen, and James Jones are the host of God, it's not Locked On Raiders. I don't know why I'm thinking Locked On Raiders. Probably because I rock with Q. I like Q. Not Locked On Raiders because they got a beautiful girl that also works with them as well. Y'all know what I'm talking about, bro.
Coming from
this right here.
Such NFL pedigree, your father being around the game for so long, 12 years as a coach in the NFL. What were you most proud of when you actually put your name on the dotted line and say, I'm going to be the coach of the Raiders?
Yeah, I was just excited for the opportunity. You know, it's a historic franchise. This is the Raiders. You know, this is the silver and black. This is a big deal. You know, so really important that we get some really talented coaches in here to go lead these men because I'm not doing it by myself. We got to do it together, and really excited for that challenge.
Another great answer. You know what I mean? Another great answer. And like I said, his answers aren't flashy. You know what I mean? These aren't answers that most people would really give, man. A lot of people want to rah shish boom by you. You know what I mean? They want to glance over the questions instead of just getting direct and straight to the point with their answers. When you get straight to the point with the answers and you don't overdo it, that tells me that you're one of those coaches that when a player comes and asks you a question, you know what I mean? They're gonna get a straight answer, bro. The coach is not gonna dance around. He's not gonna give them, you know what I mean, little titty tallies and try to make them go figure it out. No, he's gonna get straight to the point, give them direct answers. So whatever is broken, he's gonna tell them exactly what to fix. Nothing more than that. You know what I mean? He's gonna tell them exactly what to fix. Now, I had a comment that says I don't really look directly at the screen too much anymore. I'm looking directly at the screen. I'm actually looking off to the side of the camera because that's where the screen is. That's where the chat is. I try to be more involved with y'all. The camera is like right in front of me like this. You know what I mean? And then the TV is over here. And when I look like this, I can't really see the chat like I want to. So forgive me. You know what I mean? Forgive me for not looking you dead in your eyes. You know what I mean? So Alfredo, what it do, man? Blessings to you. He says, I know some people didn't like his answers, but I didn't have any problems with what he said. And there shouldn't have been any problems with what he said, man. You know what I mean? And if you didn't like those answers, you're being, man, what's the right answer to say? I feel like you're reaching for something. You're trying to create this narrative that doesn't exist, and you're creating it based on the fact that you don't like his answers. Lord Roshidas, my dude, blessings, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. It's been a very long time. You know what I mean? I seen you in some other places. You know what I mean? But man, it's good to see you back in the chat. Blessings to you, brother. Blessings to you. So like I could go on and on and on about, you know what I mean, just the the realness of this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to blow stacks or nothing like that. I'm just saying I'm trying to look at the positive side. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be more positive. Fuck it. That's the best word I can come up with. I'm trying to be more positive with these things. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be more positive in the thoughts and in the actions, and I'm trying to give them, you know what I mean, a little bit of rope. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna ask them to go bungee jumping or nothing like that, but I'm trying to give them a little leeway. You know what I mean? A little grace. You know, give them some time to get things done. I liked after the Super Bowl when he said, "Hell yeah, I'm going to Las Vegas." Hey, me too, Khalil. Me too, Brody. That was real. Facts Raider Knights. He's not pretending to be someone else. He isn't. Exactly. He's not pretending to be someone he isn't. You know what I mean? There's no pretend about him. You know, there's just literally plain, simple, straightforward answers. There's nothing to decode. There's nothing to dissect. My words are my words. You know what I mean? Willie Wayne, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you. Blessings to you. He was asked another question by EA, Eric Allen. If y'all don't know who EA is, he was asked a question about the interview process and, you know, how he took that. You know what I mean? So hopefully this is the right one. Let's take a listen to that, because his answer on that, I really liked his answer on that one too. And if you listen closely to exactly what he's saying, you can tell that he wasn't blowing smoke. You know what I mean? That he wasn't just saying these things, because he proved today that by going out and getting a coach with some head coaching experience, as well as some knowledge as to how this game should be done, should be coached, and adding him to the staff just shows me that he's not just up here speaking, but he's actually going to put these things into action. So here is
What was the interview process like, being able to split time with the interview process and kind of wanting to put your best foot forward, and then knowing that you have to prepare for a couple more games?
Yeah, you know, it wasn't hard because we were in the playoffs. You know, like, to me, your resume is on tape. You know, so you got to kind of gather your thoughts, know what you want to say. Those are things that I kind of thought about maybe the summer before, and then it doesn't really matter what you say; it's what you do, right? Yeah. So putting a good product on the field was the most important thing.
Putting a good product on the field is the most important thing to me. Bravo. Bravo. Stand up for this man and give him a round of applause. Stand up for this man and give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That is what the hell I want to hear from a coach, bro. All it is about is putting a good product on the field. That's it. Nothing else. Everybody else is trying to make it more harder and difficult and want other things, but it's really simple. It's about putting a good product out on the field. That's it. What more could you ask for? How could you not like that answer? Bro, I don't care if we don't win a Super Bowl next year. I've been saying this for years. Y'all who watch me and follow me know I've been saying this for years. It's about the product on the field. Philly Phil, my brother, how you doing, man? Blessings to you. Blessings to you. If you want to pull up, you know what I mean, and hang out with your boy, Pull up. I'll shoot you the link. No problem. Enjoyed your show last night too. You know what I mean? Enjoyed your show last night. You look like you got fresh twist, Brody. Really, really, really love you, man. Miss you too, man. I should call you a little bit more. But yeah. Said on the field till this day. What that mean? On the field? Appreciate you, Brody. So yeah, like, bro, you got to put the best product you can come up with out on the field. It's like being a drug dealer. You know what I mean? Like I hate to say it, but it's just like being a drug dealer. The best drug dealer is the dude with the best product at the best prices. Well, what Denzel say? It's blue magic. If you got to cut it anymore, you know what I mean? You messed up. Look, it's not about expecting too many wins, Lord Rashidas. You know what I mean? It's about watching a team put up a fight to play. It's about getting players to buy into a system, play for one another, not for individual stats, getting everybody on the same page from the coaching staff on down to the players, the product on the field. Yeah, I feel you, Brody. You know what I mean? I feel you. That's exactly what it's about. It's about the product on the field. And is it always going to be the greatest product? Probably not. But wouldn't you rather see a better product than what you've been seeing? I mean, I know I would. I would love to see a better product than what I've been seeing. Because what I've been seeing has been god awful. Let's just be honest. It's been god awful. We've been wondering, you know, what are we looking at? What are we paying attention to? What are we seeing? Like, man. Woo. So rumors has it that we are interviewing the wide receivers coach for Seattle Seahawks as our next offensive coordinator. I like that as well. I'm going to tell you why. We've all seen what he has done in Seattle with the wide receivers. They catch the ball, they go up for the ball. You know what I mean? They're not selfish players. They run great routes. They block. I mean, they really block. And you know, if Kubiak feels like this is the guy that he leaned on, this was like, if he feels like this is the guy, this guy has the ability to be the next OC, because he was under Kubiak last year as a wide receivers coach. So this year, Kubiak can look. I like what Kubiak is doing. I like what he's doing. He's elevating people. You know what I mean? He's creating his own. He's going to try and create his own tree. You know, when you know what head coaches do. You know, when head coaches have the want and the will and the mentality to try and build their own coaching tree, that means that coach plans on being where he's at for a very long time, which means he plans on winning. Not saying that he's guaranteed, but that's his plan, to come in here and win. You know what I mean? And he's win, man. Kubiak gonna call the plays, regardless of who he brings as an OC. Anthony, that's probably true. But at the same time, as Kubiak says, and he said it in his presser, I need to actually, because I have it clipped, I need to go and pull it out real quick. He literally says he has never called a game by himself, not even in Seattle with that offense. That it's called by all of the coaches on the offense. That Kubiak is the offensive coordinator, you know what I mean? The offensive line coach, the quarterback coach, the running back coach, and the wide receiver coach, they all come together and figure out what plays are to be called. And he said this out of his own mouth. So I don't expect it to be any different, you know what I mean, with him being the head coach. It's going to be the same. You know what I mean? He's still going to call his offense the same way he's been calling it, with the input of all the coaches. So that's what I expect. That's what he said. That's what I expect. You know what I mean? Look, we could get, oh man, I wish I would have just clipped that whole little section of when he was talking to James Jones and them. Complete opposite of Josh McDaniels. Yes, complete opposite. This is a coach that he's not going to power trip. He's not going to ego trip. He's always going to keep himself in check. You know what I mean? So he said, Willie Wayne says, yes, you can tell the difference in play when they give a damn. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can tell the difference in play when they give a damn. But Anthony C, look, don't think for 1 second that Kubiak gonna come in here and get a big head and it's gonna have everything gonna have to be done his way. Don't think that. You know what I mean? He's not gonna call the plays regardless of who the OC is. He's going to go about it the same way he's been going about it. You know what I mean? Which is as a committee. Everybody sees something different. Everybody got something to add. If we can take everybody's suggestion, you know what I mean, and form it into something that we feel like is going to work. Look, it's always better to measure 5 times and cut once than measure once and cut 5 times, right? So it's the same thing in coaching. It's better to have five sets of eyes looking at something, giving valid opinions, giving information, you know what I mean, and then taking it all in, processing it, and then spitting out a couple of plays that could be ran that it breaks some defenses down, right? So let's see. Let me get to these these 3 questions, right? I'm not the last 3, but the last 3 that came in because they look long ones. Front office needs to fix the O-line for Jeanty and Mendoza to execute Kubiak's offense. I hear you, Anthony C. The Jeanty part, the Mendoza, as I said, I'm on Mendoza hiatus talk. You know what I mean? I gotta wait till after free agency, see what they do with the offensive line. That's gonna tell me everything I need to know about if they're gonna draft Mendoza or not. I don't want to waste my time talking about drafting Mendoza if that's not in their plans. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna waste my breath on it. So I will wait till after free agency to see what they do as far as it goes towards the offensive line, skill players that they get, and things of that nature. So March 16th is when I will officially start talking about Mendoza. You know what I mean? So please bear with me till that time. But we are no Mendoza talk here. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm against Mendoza. I'm just saying I don't want the kid to come here if they're not gonna give him the pieces to succeed. That's all. That's my thing. I never want anybody to come here and waste their career for no reason, just because we want them here. You know what I mean? That's not how I get down. You know what I mean? I want the best for everybody. You know what I mean? Including us. And if we're not going to protect a number 1 draft pick then bro, there's no reason of having him. You know what I mean? Like, I believe he's serviceable. I still don't think he's a number one overall pick. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I feel like if I could trade back 2-3 spots and still pick him up, I'd be comfortable. But I just don't think that he is a number one overall draft pick. I don't. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for that. But I feel like if I could trade back, pick up a couple of more picks, and still get Mendoza, I'd be winning. That's all. That's all it is. It's I don't hate Mendoza. I don't want to talk about Mendoza until I see what our front office actually does to build around him before he gets here. You know what I mean? That's it. That's my only gripe. I just want to see what we do as a front office, you know what I mean, to build a team in order for him to come in and take the reins of and be successful. You know what I mean? Don't give this guy a macaroni paper plate that says Happy Father's Day when you got $300 million in the bank and you can go buy the man something very nice, something that he would want. You know what I mean? But a plate of macaroni with some glue and some paint that say Happy Father's, man, don't do that. Don't do that, please. Please don't do that. So that's my take on the Mendoza. The front office does need to fix the O-line. That's my biggest issue. Bruce Willis last year was rock bottom for the nation. This year we're moving up and in the right direction. Yes, we're moving up in the right direction, but please don't expect Super Bowl. Expect to be middle of the pack. You know what I mean? Which is better than being at the bottom. But I'll be fine at middle of the pack. I'm fine with 8 wins or more. You know what I mean? 8 wins, I feel like is my floor, man, my basement. I don't want to be no lower than 8 wins. 8 is a relevant season. Like, I can be 8 and 9. You know what I mean? That means I probably turned on every week. I watch this win, I watch this lose. I watch this win, I watch this lose. I watch this win, I watch this. I'll be fine with that. You know what I mean? But anything less than 8 wins, man, I'm just not gonna be happy with. I'll be honest about it. You know, I want at least 8 wins, man. That would be nice, man. That would be really good. McD was about his way, no matter what the players. McD was about his way, no matter what the players can adjust to or not. Kubiak is going to adjust to his players' strengths. Yes, that's been shown, you know, through the way that he game plans, and in Minnesota, in New Orleans, and in Seattle, he schemed all his playbooks around what he had available. You know what I mean? He allowed his players to shine. Wide receiver NS had his best season. You know what I mean? Rashid had a great season. Kenneth Walker had his best season. Offensive line was doing well. Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl. And shout out to Sam Darnold, you know what I mean? Representing that USC, first USC Trojans quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl. So love you for that, man. Appreciate you, man. You represent well right now for fight on, brother. Fight on. So yeah, we're definitely trending in the right direction. We just got to make it happen. You know what I mean? We got to go out there and we got to do the damn thing. And yeah, Kubiak's going to play to his players' strengths. Raider Paul, my guy, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you. Shots out to you. He said, nah, I'm not super, but like 7 to 8. Yeah, 7 to 8 is, you know what I mean? I like 7 to 8 wins. You can't even be mad at 7 or 8. You know, that means they went out there and they at least tried. You know what I mean? And that's all I really want from them. I just want to see them try. Eventually they'll get there and they'll win the Super Bowl and I'll be thrilled. I'm just tired of turning on every Sunday and taking away time from my family to watch piss poor football. You know what I mean? I just don't want to see piss poor football. If I lose 18 to 15 by a field goal in the closing seconds, I'm not mad. I mean, I'm mad at the loss, but I'm not mad like I would, like I'd be losing 45 to 7 or 3. You know what I mean? Getting just mollywopped and spanked. I'd be mad at that. I'd definitely be mad at that. Spy check shows some words that hinted he knows we need to spend money, but not to splurge in 1 year of this staff. I get it, but let's spend on trenches and 1 month from now. Yeah, no, most definitely, Raider Pete. Gotta spend that money on the trenches. I think that's kind of where they're look, if I can believe my insiders, you know what I mean? I feel like they are focused right there on those trenches. You know what I mean? They're focused on the trenches right now because if you can get a Robin to Max's Batman, you saw what it did for Cleveland. It gave Myles Garrett a chance to free up a little bit more. So I mean, you could do that. But the offensive line really needs some help. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you can go get a rookie center, but why not get a vet? Why not get somebody who's still got at least 8 years left in them that can come in here and truly perform? You know what I mean? Like, we have the money to offer them, you know, contracts that they fully deserve and could earn more later on. And, you know, look, I'm a firm believer in overpaying and spending money on the offensive line. I feel like a quarter, probably a little bit more than a quarter. I feel like 30% of your no, maybe not 30, 25%. I feel like 25% of your cap of your salaries should be spent on the offensive line. I'm just being honest about that. I feel like 25% of our salary cap should be spent on the offensive line. Because we've heard it, we've seen it. Without an offensive line, you can't get anything done. It's not gonna work. You know, this trying to rotate people in and doing, bro, it's that's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's just not. Bruce Willis said, shit, we hit 5 wins, and now I'm opening up my window. He said, I'm opening up my Woodson Whiskey Hall of Fame bottle. Man, I hear that. I hear you, bro. I hear you, man. Anthony C., as bad as the Raiders were, 6 of the losses were by 7 points or less. Kubiak can scheme a squad to get some of those losses to dubs. Yeah, he could. He could probably turn, let's see. I think he could probably turn 3 to 5 of those into wins. You know what I mean? I believe he could probably turn 3 or 5 of those into wins. Twan, what's good with you, Brody? Blessings to you, man. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Let me see. Bruce Willis says we're gonna have the best free agency ever for the silver and black this year. I hope so. I hope so, man. Because you look right now, we on the same page, man. I got the same feeling. Like, I'm not going to sleep like, oh God, what are we gonna do? I'm actually going to sleep like, you know what? I got a little faith in this. I got a little faith. I'm feeling good today, man. I'm feeling nice right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of feeling that I'm having with what I'm seeing right now. And maybe I might be getting ahead of myself, you know what I mean, as some people say, getting ahead of the curve. But I think at the same time, I think I'm right where I need to be, right where I want to be. So yeah. March trenches, April draft and trades, made post mini camp splash signings that nobody saw coming. Let's go. Hey, I feel you, Raider Pete. That could be what's going on. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like it. I definitely like it. Let me, you know what? Let me do this, man. I'm gonna open the stage for people to come in and give their opinions if they want to. You know what I mean? Come in and give your opinions. We top 3 in cap space this year, this and next year. So I know we're number 2 this year. I think we're number 3 next year, but it also depends on what those teams spend. You know what I mean? This year, they may not be in the top. So yeah, that was Raider Nation 510. What's good with you, man? Trade down from number 1 or trade Max. Which will it be? If I'm being honest, Raiders 510, I would trade down from number 1 before I trade Max. I would. And this is not, like I said, this is not to say I don't want Max to go anywhere, right? What I'm saying is I'll probably get more for number 1. Honestly, I will probably get more for number 1. And you gotta have something to start with on defense. You know what I mean? You gotta have something to start. You gotta have a building block to start with on defense. And I think that's Max. You know what I mean? In fact, I know that is Max Crosby. We all know that Max Crosby is the foundation of our defense, right? So, as much as I hear people saying, oh, he's out of here, he's gone. Look, we haven't heard Max say that. We've heard people say, oh, his agent. But what I've heard Max say is, I ain't said shit. I'm just working out. I'm just trying to get better, get healthy, right? Max is not even tradable right now. That's the whole crazy thing about it, that Max isn't even tradable right now. 1, his contract is high, right? He just signed his contract last year, right? He's just signed his 3-year deal last year, right? So that means he has 2 years left on it. We're not going to pay it out, so somebody else has to pick it up, right? That's 1. 2, he has to fully recover and show that he is back to the old Max Crosby. You know what I mean? That he can go out there and perform. He's not going to be able to do that until probably after the draft, when we get into mini camp. So would you still want to trade him then? When you know you're not getting any draft value for him this year, would you still want to trade him then? And this is what I say, why people need to calm down as to listening to all these people who throw out these rumors that really don't make no sense. Because when you sit back and you actually think about it and you look at the whole picture, you know what I mean? There's no team out there that's going to say, oh, yes, I'm going to give you all this for a player who just came off of a surgery. Minor, major, doesn't matter. When they cut into you, they cut into you. Your body then has to heal again, right? So take that into mind, that Max might not even be available for trade during the draft because, like I said, people are going to want to see if he bounce back, if he's healthy, if he can get things done. They're not going to be able to do that till after minicamp. So do you still want to trade him then? Just a question. Think about it. He says, Khalil says, let me scroll down a little bit more. Milka Breezy, my guy, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you. Hope all is well, man. Good to see you here tonight. You think Clint would be able to unlock the speed of Tucker or Thornton Jr., or is he gonna get his guy in Rashid? Look, so Richard Lyon, my guy, what's good with you, Brody? Blessings to you. Blessings to you. So Khalil, here's what I feel like. Even if he gets his guy in Rashid, he's still going to come in here and he's still going to game plan to the best of his ability with Thornton and Tucker. But here's the problem. He's going to require them to block. Tucker's not a blocking running, like, I'm sorry, he's not a blocking wide receiver. You know, he tries, he puts forth a value effort, but let's be real, man. Like, I don't make short jokes, but Brody is not that big, man. He is a speedster. That's exactly what he is. So he'll find ways to utilize Tucker in certain packages, you know what I mean, and plays for his speed. Yeah. But Thornton, he's going to make Thornton learn how to block. Right? He's going to use Thornton's speed. Of course, he's going to do that. But he's definitely going to make Thornton learn how to block more. As you guys saw, Rashid blocked a lot too, and there's a lot of plays there, packages and plays to where Rashid got the ball in Seattle, you know what I mean, just as much as NJS. So yes, I feel like he's always going to try and put his best foot forward. He's always going to try to get his players to shine their brightest. That's his whole scheme of things, is getting players to shine their brightest, utilizing their best attributes to get them to be productive on the field. That's his number one goal, is to put a great product on the field. Something we could be proud of. You know what I mean? So I like that. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I got a guest backstage that I want to bring out. This is my brother, my friend, my cousin. Whenever I'm in town, you know what I mean? He showed me love, and we go break bread, we get some foods. You know what I mean? We talk Raider ball, ladies and gentlemen. The inventor and CEO of the Brown Cracker Factory, the chaplain of NWA, my one and only homie from, well, no, he's not my one and only homie from there, because Raider Nate live out there too. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy, my homie, Raider Twan. What's good with you, Twan?
Hey, what's good, man?
What's popping with you, brother?
Blessings to everybody. We got a head coach. That's a start.
Ain't it though? Ain't it though? See, so how you feeling about the whole Clint Kubiak hiring? Did you see the presser?
Yeah, I did. I actually did a whole live on it and got some shorts chopped up and screwed for you guys throughout the week. So you guys will see that if you're on my channel. I mean, he was the guy that obviously this organization had a good eye on. It seemed like he was the number one going in, you know what I'm saying? And obviously he was the one that came out. Not saying that they were solely put on him being the number one and they were not really, you know, doing the due diligence, looking for anybody else. They did that because there was reports out there that actually talked about, you know, Jesse Minter did a great job in the interview, and he was, you know, they were debating on like, hey, should we pivot, or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was making a strong case. So, but they end up just sticking to, obviously it seemed like what I'm getting is that they stuck to their gut, you know, going in and just said, hey, this guy's still here. We're just going to wait it out and hopefully it pans out. And it did for them, because they did take a risk. You know what I'm saying? Them waiting that long to get a head coach when head coaches were flying off of the, you know what I'm saying? And coordinators were getting signed here and all of that. You know, they were taking a risk, but they got who they wanted. So it panned out for them.
Most definitely. It most definitely panned out for him, and I was real happy about I was definitely happy about the hire because I've been asking for the hire for a while.
Mhm.
We know who's not happy about the hire. You know what I mean? And he'll show his face at some point in time. I know somebody who's not happy about this hire, but
Yeah.
I'll talk to him when when I talk to him. Uh Fat Ricks, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you, man. He said max value is the highest it will ever be. Trading him is what a smart rebuilding franchise would do. That's a tough one. Who do you trade him to if and his value is not at the highest right now. I'm being honest. His value is not high because he's coming off of an injury. He's coming off of a surgery. His value is not as high as you think it is to other franchises. We have a value on him, but that's not what we're going to get for him.
Yeah.
That's the problem right now. You know what I mean? You're not wrong when you're saying his value is his highest, but it's only its highest if he's 100% healthy. And as Max says himself, he is not 100% healthy. So put the shoe on the other foot. If you're somebody else's franchise, do you take the chance on an injured player? I don't think you do. And that's being honest. You know what I mean? That's just being 100% honest. Richard Lyon, my brother, was good with you. Salute. Gam says, I think we need to get our QB now, or we're going to keep depending on guys past their prime. I understand that. You do, but you also have to build around a QB. You can't just throw a young quarterback out there and expect him to be able to do everything by himself if you give him no weapons and no protection. You know what I mean? If you put that quarterback out there with no protection and he takes the wrong hit, who's to say that he will even finish out his rookie contract because you didn't take the time to protect him? And that's why I say I don't too much care to talk about Mendoza right now. Mendoza means nothing to me without seeing some solidified protection up front. He's not Jesus Christ walking on water. He's a man. He's a human being. He's a youngster. A kid with no NFL experience. I don't want to talk about the possibilities of Mendoza if that's not what we're going to build around. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So March 16th is when Mendoza talk officially kicks off here, you know what I mean, on this channel. But for now, you can watch all the other channels, blow smoke and hype up Mendoza and do all of that, and that's fine. They're entitled to it. But for me, I'm just not going to waste my breath talking about something that might not happen because that's not the direction that we chose to go in during free agency. That's all. I think the kid's great. I do. I also feel like I could trade back and still pick him up. I don't feel like I have to draft him number one overall. He could be my number one pick, but I don't feel like I have to draft him at number one overall. I don't. I feel like I can trade back, pick up some more values, you know what I mean, picks, and still get him. Sorry. That's just my thought. That's just my thought. You know, trade back 3 spots, you still pick up Mendoza plus some picks. Why not? I'll do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat. He says, Raider Nation 510 says, would you sign George Pickens or trade a 2 for Jetta? Who's Jetta?
That's Jefferson.
Oh, okay. Justin Jefferson. JJ.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would probably trade a 2. I would probably trade a 2 before I brought in George Pickens. only because of the reputation that follows George Pickens. You know what I mean? That's my thing. I feel like the the narrative that follows him, I'm just looking for the right word. The narrative that follows George Pickens is just not good, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody keeps saying and this could just be talk. This could just be, the Cowboys throwing stuff out there so other teams don't really seem as interested in signing him for what they might sign him for. You know what I mean? So, I mean, everything is tactics. It's a business. You know what I mean? It's just like a heavyweight fight, a lightweight fight. It's like watching a Jake Paul fight. It's gonna be antics before the fight, right? There's always gonna be some antics. I feel like a lot of this should be antics. You know what I mean? It'd be stuff that teams be planning out there for people to get to talking and other teams to get to listening and things of that nature. Like I feel like it's not always going. Everything ain't always what it seems on the outside. You got to dig deeper into the mix to find out what really truly is going on. So maybe Pickens is worth taking a chance on, and maybe he's not. But I know for sure one thing, that Justin Jefferson is, to me, a better player, and he doesn't have the drama following him that George Pickens would have. And he is a true and that's the other thing. Justin Jefferson is a true number one. George Pickens is not. That's the other thing about that the answer for me, 5'10", is the fact that we all know Justin Jefferson to be a true number one. We don't know George Pickens to be a true number one. So that too. What you say, Vaughn?
Especially because we're in a situation where we have a bunch of number twos. Jack Bech, he's a number two. Dante Thornton, God, he's just on the depth chart in my opinion. Trey Tucker, the number two. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have a number one. And George Pickens, when you look at where he's played, he's been, a fringe number one, but on a good team like he was the last season where he had a CeeDee Lamb and he was a number two. You know what I'm saying? He was benefiting because CeeDee Lamb was, on the field. That's not the same thing with with Jefferson. I don't know why I can't say his full name. But Jefferson
is fine.
Yeah, he's a number one. Yeah. So he's a clear number one, and that's what we need. Either you're getting a clear number one, or we're drafting someone who you think in the draft is a clear number one, and that's where we need to go with that.
What up, Raider Paul, with the Willie Waynes, the Milka Breezy. Let's see, Raider Outlaw, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you. Said, why would you trade our number one pick over trading Max? We haven't had a drafted franchise quarterback since the Snake, and Max is not part of our long-term future. So, Raider Outlaw, as I stated, I feel like, and this is just a feeling, bro. I feel like you could trade back from number one. You could trade back 2-3 spots from number one, pick you up maybe 2 or 3 extra picks in this draft, plus 1 or 2 more in next year's draft, and still get Mendoza. And that's just a feeling I have. But I feel like once everything is played out and everything is said and done, I'm telling you, I really feel like you could trade back, pick up some extra picks, and still get Mendoza. Wouldn't that still be getting your quarterback? And all you did was trade your number one overall. You still kept your key fundamental defensive player who may not be your long-term future. But at the same time, he deserves the chance to win here. Right? He's been putting in the work. If we're going to build a team that can actually get some wins done, why not keep Max here and let him win here? You know what I mean? Y'all gonna make me go out on a limb and say, damn it, we'll be in the playoffs next year. That's what y'all gonna make me do. Y'all gonna make me go out on a limb and say, if they do everything the way I say they need to do it, they'll be in the playoffs next year. I don't want to do that though. I don't want to, because then that makes it seem like I know everything. And I don't know everything. But these are just my opinions. You know what I mean? They're just my opinions. That's all. None of this stuff holds weight. None of this stuff is 100% valid. It's just my opinion. It's just a thought that crosses my mind. I just don't want to come on here and tell and say the same thing that y'all see all day long on these other channels. I don't want to copy them. I got my own original thoughts. You know what I mean? So I just come on here and I say what's truly what I feel. And it's just a little different from everybody else. What was you gonna say, Twan?
This is what this and again, when I say what I say, I have to give a disclaimer on this because I've realized that's the reason why I'm where I'm at with certain people as content creators. But that we'll talk about that later. Let me say this. This is what frustrates me in regards to this entire organization. And I'm gonna run down a few names. Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Derek Carr. And now we're trying to put Max Crosby in that same bus. And there's rumblings that, we're talking the same thing about Colton Miller. And what do all those people have in common? They were all Raiders, and we did not put anybody around them to succeed them. We had Josh Jacobs in here thinking that Josh Jacobs was going to be the end all be all, and we didn't have a running back that was ready to go behind him to say, okay, when Josh Jacobs leaves, this guy's going to fully take on the reins. We got rid of Derek Carr and then said, oh, he's the worst quarterback in the world, and oh, he's trash, and all these things. And he has, when you go into the building, you see his name, Derek Carr, but still there's nobody that we brought in to replace him. We're still trying to find somebody to replace him. Why are we doing the same thing with Max?
He'll be back next year.
Why are we getting, and that is a take too, but same thing with Max. We have Max here. Oh, Max is here. Max is going to, our defense is going to be great because Max alone we're going to be top 10 just because of Max alone. What are we building around Max? Why don't we have a defensive end that's like, hey, when Max says or gets close to hanging it up, we're going to give the reins to him. So you're just telling us to get rid of the really the only true players we have for what? So we can sit back and expect nothing again to happen. We lucked up on Brock Bowers. But what was the gap between Brock Bowers and Darren Waller? We finally got Ashton Jeanty. But there were some failures in between that, right? Everybody hated Zeus, right? So that's what frustrates me with getting rid of Max. Now, on the opposite side of that, I do understand the frustration of it because I said it the other night that if Max wants to jump on the trampoline and physically, I mean not physically, but what I'm saying, in a roundabout way, put the middle finger up to the organization, then he can go too, if that is real.
Yeah.
But we got to keep the talent that we have on this roster and actually build around it. What is commitment to excellence?
I hear you.
sorry for my rant. That's probably
No.
why I lose subscribers when I talk.
No, you fine. You fine. You definitely fine. Raider Pete, to answer this one, yeah, hey, look, I'm not against trade for stupidity. If somebody's stupid enough to want to throw out a crazy ass number for Max, not knowing if he's healthy or not, hey, I'm not gonna turn it down. But I also don't think there's too many franchises that are dumb enough to do it. Now, like you said, there are a few. So, you know what I mean? You're not wrong in that. You're definitely not wrong in that. I'm just saying, me personally, as a GM, I wouldn't do it. I personally would not do it. I don't think the Jets, no, so I saw somebody say Carr was going to the Jets. He's not going to somewhere that's defense not good. You know what I mean? And the Jets defense is not good, bro.
He,
Right here, Jackie, right here. He says, they say he's going to the Jets with Musgrave. Their defense is not good, bro. And that he said it on his show. If you don't have all these pieces in places, don't call me. You know what I mean? Do not call me. And New York is not a place he wants to be.
and
You know what I mean? He's not a cold weather quarterback. So New York is not where he wants to be. I'll tell you that right off bat. Look, if DC comes back, he's only playing for one team and one team only. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you that. You know what I mean? If he comes back and he plays, he's only playing for one team and one team only, and that's because he wants to do something that he set out to do. You know what I mean? Originally, which was win a Super Bowl with that team, and that's us. That's it. If we're not Super Bowl ready, he's not coming back to play. I'm just telling y'all right now, bro. I'm telling y'all right now. And the only way he goes to the Rams is if Stafford retires. That's the only way DC will go to the Rams is if Stafford retires. Right? And so you would have to wait to see if Matt Stafford retires. And if he retires, then yes, I could see DC going to the Rams. Right? But he don't have to catch a plane from Bakersfield to LA to sign up to sign with the Rams. He already said he was gonna have to get on a plane from where he's at, you know what I mean, in order to go and play for that team. You know what I mean? So the Rams is just a drive down the road. It's not a flight, you know what I mean? But Vegas is a flight.
Yeah. Yeah, and that statement that he made, it can actually go two ways. He talked about he wanted to go to a team that was already established. He's not trying to, you know what I'm saying, go to a project team. Now that sounds like us, because right now we are, let's be really honest with this. We are a rebuild team at the moment, but the only thing again that makes it still a viable play for Derek Carr is the fact that it's home. You know what I'm saying? Like if he goes to any other team that's not a, you know what I'm saying? If it's not a competitor, it's going to be the Raiders. But if all of a sudden, like you said, all of a sudden that Stafford, something goes wrong with the Rams, that's a team that has a chance to get to the Super Bowl. So he might make a move for that. But if Stafford's still there, nah, he's good.
No. I don't see Max going to the Rams. I don't know what the Rams have to offer as far as trade bait, you know what I mean, trade value. I don't really see what they have to offer. So that'll be a tough sell for Max Crosby. Not to say that, you know what I mean, he wouldn't go, just I don't know what they would offer.
Let me see what they,
you know what I mean, in trade value. I also don't know what they have in trade value to offer. So I don't follow the Rams like that. Martinez says Max is a top player and a face of our team, but he wants to play every down and gets injured now from that. Maybe he takes it easy coming up. Like, I mean, I want a player that's gonna go out there and give it everything he got. You know what I mean? If you can give me, you know, a solid season, I'm fine with that.
The Rams in the first round, they have 13-29. Just in the first round alone. They have 13 and 29.
Okay.
Max, the thing with Max is that's why I say what I say is that we need to find that person, draft that person, and that's what kind of has me leaning a little more towards trading back from that number one, because we can easily get Ruben Bain, where he would be the Robin to Max's Batman. And then when Max, like, if we want to really run Max into the ground, then you can run Max into the ground, because right behind him, you know what I'm saying, our next Max Crosby is already on the roster. So you and I'm not saying that they're equivalent, but Ruben Bain seems like he's going to be one of the top pass rushers. So if you're going to have his replacement there, okay, you want to be here and play 100 snaps, and you know what I'm saying, snap both your legs off. Okay, we good, because we already got we got something in the cabinet that we're ready to pull out. You know what I'm saying? But right now we don't.
No, we don't. Randall says DC4 is either coming back for us or going to the Jets. As for Max, I hope he will stay. But at this point, and after all this drama, I feel like he wants out and is just being passive aggressive about it. I'm not sure. I'm more on this trend right here. I think he is waiting to see how the coaching staff shapes out. I also think he's waiting to see what happens in free agency. If they give him a piece, of the puzzle to help him, you know what I mean? If they build an offensive line, you know what I mean? And look, I tell you this, if DC comes back, Max isn't going anywhere. But I also feel like Max isn't going anywhere anyway, because there's people in the building that just don't want to let Max go. You know what I mean? They feel like what they're trying to put together right now with this coaching staff is something that could really turn the tides and the culture of what Raider football has been over the last umpteen years, right? We had a couple of little spurts in there where we did something kind of good. 2016, we did something good. A few years ago, we did something good, but not much. Not much else really. You know what I mean? Since our last Super Bowl appearance, we kind of just been riding the wave of, right below mediocrity. You know what I mean? That's just what we've been since our last appearance in the Super Bowl. And they want to change that. They want to go in a different directions. I can't be mad at that. You have to identify your key pieces of your team and be able to utilize them and project yourself in the right direction, right? Or propel yourself in the right direction. I mean, is it going to be tough? Yes, of course it's going to be tough. It's the NFL. But let's be honest. What was you gonna say?
No, and this is and I know you know this, Dirty, because me and you do work. But it's tough because these writers out here, you don't know if their sources are credible. You don't know, you know what I'm saying, where they're getting their stuff from. They might be just grasping at straws and just trying to pull stuff out of their butt, because, like, let's be honest, what can they pick on in regards to the Raiders at this point? You know what I'm saying? What kind of drama could they create right now with the Raiders? The only thing we got is Max Crosby. So that's what happens every year in the offseason. Max Crosby needs a trade. Max Crosby, you know what I'm saying? Max Crosby, right? Unless somebody is getting a DUI and gets locked up, or you know what I'm saying? Unless it's something like that, everything is Max Crosby. So it's kind of tough to just say, oh yeah, this is really what's going on with him. That's why I said if that's really what it is, then hey, peace out. But if he hasn't came out and said he didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we kind of gotta just play it out and be ready to pull the trigger when you need to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Most definitely. I'm still here.
Somebody had a question talking about what was where was it at? I think he asked about the defensive tackle or edge. What's more, defensive tackle or edge? See, now I've been playing around with the draft situation. To be honest with you, just try. That's how I go through things, right? I kind of get familiar with certain players, and then there's certain guys that I'm looking at. I look at film, you know what I'm saying, on guys that, where I land and what I'm looking at. So first round, let's just say let's make everybody happy. In the first round, we get Mendoza, right? My feeling is in the second round, it is almost like the first round. The second round needs to be a D lineman. And when I say D lineman, whoever the highest, you know what I'm saying, D lineman is, whether it's a D tackle or a defensive end, pull the trigger on it. Because we're definitely going to have to, first, one reason, we definitely need to make Max Crosby happy. And second of all, we're definitely going to need help in those areas. Now, some people say, oh, yeah, we do got defensive tackles that, the Hemingways and all of that. But nah, bring somebody else in. Competition, right? You know what I'm saying? I sound like Pete Carroll, but we going to compete. And we're going to beef up that D line. Now, there's some big body guys, D tackle wise, that we don't have on this roster that I would love to pull the trigger on, like a Lee Hunter. He's 320, I think, at defensive tackle. He's more, he has pass rush ability, but he also is that run stuffer. You have Dominique Orange that you can pull the trigger on. You know what I'm saying? At defensive tackle, you know what I'm saying? TJ Parker is an edge that you can definitely, in the second round, pull the trigger on. So there's some guys there that, again, I think first round, if you're, obviously everybody wants to go with Mendoza, I'll concede you on that, let you have Mendoza. But definitely in the second round, we need to address the D line.
Yeah.
And it, like I said, either edge or defensive tackle, whoever is the highest of where we are, pull the trigger on it.
Let me catch up on some more of this chat over here. You know how we do over here, Twan.
Yeah.
UDFA or trade, what is more important first, another edge rusher or a solid DT? For me, Raider Pete, another edge rusher.
That was the same question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another edge rusher for me. You know what I mean? That would be my take on it. You know what I mean? Defensive tackle, okay, cool, great, wonderful. I think we got some good ones on our team as it stands right now. I think we lack another defensive tackle that can actually bend the edge. Like if Tyree would show up every single game and not just the last 4 or 5 games of the season, if he would play every game all year long like he plays the last 4 or 5 games of the year, I wouldn't need another D tackle, and I wouldn't need another edge rusher. I would want a D tackle. Being honest, right? But I like him, but then I don't, and then I do, and then I don't. You know what I mean? It's because it's like, dude, sometimes he just disappears, but then when you see him, he's like right there, and you're like, damn, and then he disappears again. It's like, come on, man. Definitely better than Kuntz. Right? Definitely better than Kuntz. Kuntz disappears and just be gone. He don't reappear. You know what I mean? Like once he disappears, that's it. He done.
I think our biggest gap is defensive end. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in the draft, you gotta. Yeah, you have needs, but you also kind of go on value. So that's why I said D line, because we definitely need, we do need help in that. But if you ask me who we really, really need in help, it would be an edge, because I think Kuntz need to be on the next Spirit flight out of here. And then Tyree, I think we kind of identified who Tyree is. Tyree is a role guy. You know what I'm saying? He's simply just a extra piece to, you know what I'm saying, the entire body of the D line. I don't think he's that you know what I'm saying, second man to Max Crosby at all.
Yeah. Why are all you Raider fans that are looking to get rid of Max listening to people who want to? I'm not listening to people, D Raiders. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not listening to people. Like I said, the proof is in the pudding with me. You know what I mean? Show and tell. You know, if Max wants to be traded, show and tell. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? I don't believe nobody's extras. My insiders are telling me that Max is just chilling and Max has no desire to go anywhere else right now. All he's concerned about is getting healthy and being able to get on the field and perform. That is his only concern. It's not about not playing for the Raiders. It's not about getting traded and going somewhere else. All he's focused on is raising his kids because he just had another one, right? Getting healthy, you know what I mean, and spending time with his wife. That's it. He's not worried about where he plays or anything else. And when you're not worried about where you're going to play next year, tells me you already know where you're playing next year. He just signed a contract last year for a 3-year extension, man. So I'm not listening to them. Randall says we all know that Gardell saw the Raiders about to take over the AFC West and stomp the Chiefs twice a year. So the sabotage of Gruden and our team had to happen. I feel that. I know we were sabotaged. You know what I mean? I know we were sabotaged. Every offseason there is news about Max Crosby being traded. Every year, man. Kendall, it's been since then that we had a team worth watching. Here we are, primed to take strides towards returning to relevance. Feels good, real good. Hey, most that it does. You know what I mean? Second round, a man named Bang belongs to the Raiders. Don't he though? Bang's not sliding to the second round. I'll tell you that right now.
Not at all.
Bane's not sliding to the second round.
He's like top 5.
Yeah. Bro, I think he's number 2, number 3, truthfully.
And I was being nice when I said top 5 because, you know,
people hate the fact that I say I take Bane over Mendoza, but, you know, whatever. I say you put it.
I said it.
Hey, that defense in Seattle, just saying. Why? They got 2 edge rushers. They got
between him and Marvell Reese,
2 edge rushers that are great. They got some guys in the middle that can do their job. They're not great. They can damn well do their job, and they look great because the motherfucking edge rushers are so damn good. So, you know, I'm just saying, things can happen, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Said Chuckles might change his mind if Crosby gets traded to the Jets. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't think that's where he's going. The whole defensive line is important because if you get the pressure, you don't need elite people in the back. I can dig that. Dig this. Laki Tasi getting the reps at D tackle instead of think it'd be worth. Yeah, it would. It would.
It's sweaty. Someone said Laki Tasi, because that's when he first came to the team. That's what I was trying to make him. I was trying to make him a D tackle, and you know they decided to put him on the on the offensive side of the ball. And then that changed my thoughts because I'm like, he played rugby. Right? He had to carry the ball. Don't we need a fullback? Have Laki Tasi with his big old behind be the fullback.
Okay, I hear you.
I'm just saying.
We might bring a fullback back. I don't know. We might. I mean, there's nothing against it. You know, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, that's the same thing Gruden did. He brought a fullback with him, because he runs a fullback offense. So, I mean, it worked for us last time we had it. Tyree is a 3-4 in or a rush D tackle. Kuntz should be standing up, and Max can do it all. Just saying. I feel you. Most definitely. Says I attribute Max's rumors to Max himself more than writers do. Been broadcasting business on his dime for 4 years. NFL contracts prohibit social media use, about $1 billion business. Hey, look, the Rush Podcast is the Rush Podcast. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Max can talk about whatever he wants. You know what I mean? Truthfully, I get it. It's probably not great business, but look, it's a problem now. You know what I mean? Now that he's leaving, or people say he's leaving, like now it's a problem. Like it wasn't a problem when everybody tuned in to watch it. You know what I mean? But now I don't know. Raider Pete, look, I'm as a podcaster, I can't speak against it. You know what I mean? I can't speak against it. Like I can't, you know what I mean? Like it's just something I can't speak against. Bruce Willis, man, you have a blessed one too, man. Be blessed. Richard Lyons, my guy, be blessed, man. Have a great one, y'all. Enjoy y'all nights. Thoughts
Oh
on
yeah, I think JJ also is a fullback too. JJ Pegues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says thoughts on all these former Raider DL players that are UFAs. I'd like Autry back, not so much Arden Key or Gerard or Jihad Ward.
Jihad Ward.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not into always recycling players. You know what I mean? I'm not always into recycling players, especially if you didn't really do anything when you were here. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna recycle some players, man, recycle players that actually had done something for you. You know what I mean? Recycle Derek Carr, recycle Khalil Mack. If Khalil Mack got 2 good years left in him, I take him. I do. You know what I mean? If I got 2 good years left in Khalil Mack on the other side of Max Crosby, and I feel like if I could get to the Super Bowl in 2 years, all I got to do is really build a solid foundation this year and next year, add some more key pieces to it that it's enticing. We're winning, so people want to come here and they feel like they could really win. Like, yeah, bro, I'd do it. Let him go out on a bang with a Super Bowl. His last year in the NFL, you know what I mean? Super Bowl win. You know what I mean? Raiders back to prominence. Khalil Mack, Derek Carr, Max Crosby, all up there celebrating the Super Bowl win. Oh man, that would be in the making. Nobody can say shit about DC ever again if he won the Super Bowl here. Ever.
I don't think they should. I don't think they have anything to say now. But that's just my opinion.
Well, a lot of people are realizing that, yeah, they may have fucked up by asking for his release, right? Or, a lot of people that hated DC are like, God, I wish I had him back over all the shit that we have. Which I'm telling you, if DC was on the roster, we'd have at least 3-4 more wins than what we had, bro. I'm just saying, man. Honestly.
The thing about Denico Autry is that he was young and good with, like he was good, young when he was with us, and then when he left, he got better. And that was my frustration, because I talk about it a lot, because we had two guys that end up just being solid guys at defensive tackle, and that was Denico Autry and Shelby Harris. We had both of those guys at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And just imagine if we didn't just get rid of our guys, you know what I'm saying, one and dones and stuff like that. And that's what we did a lot. And those rough years is we would draft a guy and, oh, he's a bum, get out of here. And then all of a sudden he just turns into, you know what I'm saying, almost an all-star with the next team.
Yeah.
and even Spytech talked about it's like with the recent guys with Spillane and Merrick, and he's like there's a lot of guys that left the building and were playing meaningful games.
Danico he's been a serviceable player everywhere he's gone. You know what I mean? It started with us, and that's why other teams wanted him. You know what I mean? He's probably on his last tour as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think there's a lot more left that he could really do. But just saying. Look, hey, Raider Pete, I'm telling you, Max return would be welcome. You know what I mean? So because of the timing and a bit because of ego. I don't know. I feel like if you're willing to give Mac the right amount of money, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I think it can be done. If we're showing promise of trying to get to the bowl and win, if we look like we're really trying to spend the money and build like that, you know what I mean? Like, some things are enticing to people. Now, I know it's hard to think that, you know what I mean? The Raiders win the Super Bowl. What are you talking about? Well, look, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. I'm not saying that is what's going to happen. What I'm saying is anything in life is a possibility. You know, the Seahawks were plus 8,000 to win the Super Bowl this year. They were plus 8,000. Come on. Last year, at the end of the season, they were plus 8,000 to win the Super Bowl. New England was plus 6,000 to win the Super Bowl, to get to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, it should happen. Things happen. You know what I mean? So, I know, but we're plus 12,600 to reach the Super Bowl. We're plus 12,000 for next year. But like I said, like, free agency is about to open up. If they approach free agency, you know what I mean, and they hit it like an animal, you know what I mean, they target that shit like animals. You know what I mean? They go and they get solid pieces that they need to actually build a true solid foundation. You know what I mean? Build the trenches. That's all you really need to focus on in free agency, man. Right now, your first 3 days needs to be building the trenches. It needs to be O-line, D-line. Though your first 4 or 5 signings should be offensive line, defensive line. So, you know what I mean? Something in that line, you know what I mean? That needs to be, you know what I mean? Dirty, you have suffered around watching all the Bo Jackson promotional interviews. Some phenomenal stories. Dan Patrick Show was the most recent priceless stories. Have I surfed around watching? No, I haven't. I haven't searched around watching all of Bo's. Look, I'm gonna say this, and please don't take this the wrong way. Love what Bo Jackson did on the field. Loved how Bo played, right? But after Bo got hurt, Bo wasn't a very nice guy, bro. Just being honest. Bo Jackson just wasn't a very nice guy, bro. And I get probably some anger, you know what I mean, or whatever, but Bo was just not a nice guy for a minute. And now he's starting to come out and tell stories and shows and things of that nature. Can you guys honestly tell me when's the last time you seen Bo Jackson around the Raiders at all? When we look at all of these films that get released of all the alumni that have come to visit, it's the last time you seen Bo Jackson visiting us. You know what I mean? Like, I like Bo. Love Bo Jackson for what he did for the team. You know what I mean? What team did they point at and didn't say OG? What happened? What team did they point at and didn't say? I don't know. I don't know what you mean, D Menace. But I'm just saying for me, uh I I'm just okay, cool, Bo Jackson. I'm not gonna go just deep dive and follow, you know what I mean, all the appearances that he's making. You know what I mean? So yeah, I haven't watched any of them. I know he just did one with John Gruden. You know what I mean? I did want to peep that one out, and I'll probably peep that out. Uh he said the car podcast. He said, what team did yeah, he pointed at the Raiders. He pointed at the Raiders.
Oh, you talking about when he was
When he said, I wish I could say,
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
like when he was looking
hey,
at, yeah.
and
I
you
know, I
know,
know what he,
I thought the same thing, because when he had the paper, you have to think in contextually that the highest, you know what I'm saying, the people that were like the closest to the Super Bowl, they were higher on the paper. Where he pointed was actually pretty low on the paper. So I think you did point to the Raiders.
hey, Raider Pete, like I said, I don't dislike Bo, but I'm not jumping at the chance to watch his interviews. I'll just say that. I'm just not jumping at the opportunity to watch his interviews. So that's why I say no, I haven't surfed around. Because he asked me if I would have said, "Oh yeah, man, I'm ready to watch," I'd be lying. But I'm not gonna. You know me. I'm always gonna tell you the truth. I can't be anything but me, Raider Pete. No, I haven't surfed around because I really had no interest. You know what I mean? In spending 4 or 5 hours watching Bo Jackson interviews. Now, like I said, I did want to see the one that he did with John Gruden, so I'm probably going to watch that right after we're done. You know what I mean? We'll be done in about 16 minutes, 17 minutes. Nothing goes past 2 hours here anymore. I can't. I'm here from 9 to 11. That's it. That last hour I need for myself. I gotta soak my bunions. You know what I mean? Go soak my feet. And I got this new thing that I'm doing. So uh I ride my spin bike 3 miles a day, right? I ride my spin bike at the house 3 miles a day. Um while I do my dumbbells, I ride my speed bike while I do my dumbbells. 3 miles. So I do dumbbells for 3 miles. So I don't really know how many curls and all of that stuff I really do. I don't really count. Um but that's why I wear a lot of sweatshirts and stuff now. I'm waiting to get my physique back, and then I'm gonna pop out on the nation like, ugh, and then I'm like, oh shit. Y'all can blame Afakasi for that, man. Motherfucker came down here big as a goddamn beast, bro. So y'all can thank AR for that shit, bro. I see AR. I'm like, hell nah, bro. I gotta hit the gym, bro. I gotta hit the motherfucking gym, bro. I gotta get back. This nigga big as a goddamn beast.
It ain't fair.
My God.
He got those genes, and then he still
Yeah.
he works out on top of it. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, we got the genes too, but it's just
Yeah, no, I got great genes, bro.
Yeah.
I got a very high metabolism. I'm just lazy as fuck. I have no problem admitting it, bro. I'm lazy, bro. I spent the first 40 years of my life running and jumping and playing, and the last 3-4 years, bro, I've been chilling.
yeah.
I've been chilling, like, and now I look down and I'm like, yeah, I'm not happy with I'm not happy with the way I look anymore. So yeah, used to shit. You know how long it took me to be able to get to do 3 miles? That shit is not cool, bro.
You got to work up to that.
You
Definitely.
gotta work up to that. Yeah. So
I heard I watched one of the, because I was watching Media Row, and I think, who was it? Was he on Shay Shay? Yeah, I think he was. It was that or Cam Newton, because I I was bouncing in between those, but he's doing some charity work now. So I think that's why you're seeing him, out more. You know what I'm saying? So he might be, every, he might have been one way, but I think he's kind of trying to, change, turn that leaf. So, we'll see how it goes. And, Dirty is right. I haven't seen him, around the organization. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see if he gets involved.
So I seen him around when Al Davis was alive, but since Al Davis has passed, I haven't seen
Yeah.
Bo Jackson around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Of
You
recent,
know what I mean? Like I do remember him being around with Al Davis. Yes, I've seen that. You know what I mean? But since Al has passed, I haven't seen Bo Jackson really a part of anything Raiders. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, you know what I mean? It's cool, but hey, look, I am really mad at him because who really wants to be a part of losing? I don't really want to make the trip out to come watch you guys lose. I can stay home and watch you guys on TV. Thanks for the invite, but when you get better, let me know. I'm not coming out there for losses. You know what I mean? Like that's not what I'm about. So, but for me, you know what I mean? Like I said, I still love Bo Jackson for all he did in the silver and black. I hate
absolutely.
the fact that his career got cut short. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, like I wish Bo would have actually got the chance to win this. I think we probably would have had 2-3 more Super Bowls with Bo Jackson. You know, what I mean? we was on that incline. We was headed there. So yeah, and it's just it sucks that his career got cut short. But like I said, I'll watch the one with John Gruden and then I'll probably go from there. But like I haven't watched any of them. So, I couldn't really too much tell you, anything about that. So
Yeah, John.
knows men's health.
Chuck,
What supreme blessings to you, man. Hope all is well. Yeah, we probably
that's what it's called. Bo no men's health.
Huh?
I think that's what his podcast is called or something like that. But that's what kind of lane he's in now is trying to be an advocate for men's mental health and stuff like that.
Well, nothing wrong with
health
that.
just in general.
Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I got no problems with him. I got no problems with Bo. I don't. Now I do know some people who've had some problems with Bo, but that got nothing to do with me. So I don't hold that against him. You know what I mean? I just like I said, I just really hadn't seen Bo around the Raider facility or any of the Raider events, lately. So, for me, I'm not gonna chase Bo. You know what I mean? Still respect Bo. Show enough, like I said, appreciate everything he did. Still probably one of the greatest running backs, next to Marcus Allen. You know what I mean? And that's just because his career got cut short. He might have been the number one back of all times in the whole NFL. You know what I mean? Had his career not. And hey, look, sometimes you got to pick one sport, bro. You know what I mean? All that walking the wall in baseball, all that diving for catches in baseball. You know what I mean? And then you play a baseball game and then you jump on an airplane and you fly in and you play a football game and then you fly out for another baseball game the next day. Like, bro, your body can't take all that, man. You know what I mean? Your body can't take all that. And then you running a 4 flat in the 40s. 4 flat, bro. 4 flat in the 40. Resilient, my guy. What's good with you, man? Blessings, brother. Good to see you, man. It has been a minute, brother. It's been a minute, but like I said, I'm slowly, I'm supposed to be back every day, Monday through Friday, but I've been busy. Definitely been busy, and it hasn't really been much to talk about. And I don't want to waste your time with just BS. But so what do you expect for the Raiders to do tomorrow, Twan? What do you think will be do you think there will be any Raider news tomorrow? And if it is, what coaching position do you think gets hired tomorrow? chat, you can answer that question too. You know what I mean?
I
If
think
it happens tomorrow, what coaching position do you think gets filled tomorrow?
it's going to be someone on the offense, because I think they're going to take a little more time to do their due diligence in regards to who is the defensive coordinator. Because at this point, let's just be honest, we already have our offense coordinator, in Kubiak. So that's already in place. The next biggest thing is the defensive coordinator. So, I think it might be a situation where they're just bringing in the next, because right now it's the assistant. They have the assistant coach. He's an offensive guy, and then they're interviewing. I think they're looking at the wide receivers coach from the Seahawks to be the offensive coordinator. So I think they're interviewing OCs right now. So it might be an OC, but it's going to be somebody on the offensive side. I don't think we're going to get anything defensively this early.
Yeah. So they did interview. They do want to interview Rob Leonard for defensive coordinator. Don't necessarily mean that he's going to get that job, but he is a guy that is in the runnings for it. He said, "May the Schwartz be with you, DC incoming." What up, Raider Pete? Man, blessings to you.
Hey, some people like Jim Schwartz.
Some people do. I'm just, for me, I don't know, bro. Like I said, he resigned. You know what I mean? He definitely resigned, but he also said he didn't want to coach anywhere this year. And these are words from his mouth. You know what I mean? He said he didn't want to be a coach anywhere this year. He was just gonna hang out. So I don't know. People say they want him, but he resigned. He resigned as the defensive coordinator. So,
well, I mean, that's frustrating anyway, because I think he thought after Stefanski left that he was kind of the next man for the job. You know what I'm saying? He was sitting there like, hey, Stefanski's gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm the defense coordinator of the Browns. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm here. Why don't you just promote me? You know what I'm saying? And they didn't do that. They actually went out of house to get somebody. So he probably felt some type of way, similar to, Patrick Graham. You know what I'm saying? Like how long has Patrick Graham been trying to get a head coaching job? And when we were in a position to have a head coaching job, we went with Kubiak, and now where's Patrick Graham?
yeah.
He's like, I'm get me out of here. I don't even think that was Kubiak had a option of I don't even think he had the option to pull the trigger on Patrick Graham and say, hey, Patrick Graham, stay here and be a defense coordinator for me. I think he was after he realized that, they was going or trying to search for Kubiak, it seemed like Patrick Graham was like, let's just get me out of here.
Let me pull up this guy real quick. I want to see his stats. I want to see what he's all about.
For those that and help me out. I'm not trying to be mean. Please don't take it offensive. What has Rob Leonard did that would qualify him to be a defensive coordinator? What has came out of that room where it's like, oh, he did so well with the D line that he deserves a promotion? Because that's what it is. It's a promotion. You know what I'm saying? I'm I'm just asking that question.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. No, it's a good question.
Because I've been hearing a lot of people talking about, oh, Rob Leonard. And I'm like, okay, so what has he done that makes him
What has he done that makes him qualified to be a defensive coordinator? I hear you. I mean, how long has he been calling plays? Like, how long has he been a positions coach? But at the same time, you can't really say that, because AP was a linebacker coach and got promoted to interim head coach and then ended up getting the job as a head coach, and he didn't really have no experience. I mean, so it'd be the right step to take. If they believe in him. Like, I think Rob Leonard becoming a defensive coordinator would keep Max here. I think they did that. Max would probably stay.
So, and I'm just going off of your take, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the only thing, does that really make him a good defensive coordinator? That pretty much, and I'll say it like this: just because he was a good Max Crosby babysitter, when Max Crosby's supposed to be the talent that he is, not because someone coached him to be that talent, but that's just who he is. What other D lineman you can say, oh yeah, that was Rob Leonard. Rob Leonard made him the best, you know what I'm saying? Pulled the best out of him. Because even with Antonio Pierce, I'll say it like this. When Antonio Pierce was on that D line, not our D line, but with those linebackers, we actually looked better at better at linebacker.
So,
not saying that he deserved completely deserved the super jump, but obviously there was something in there that. So I'm trying to find other points besides Rob Leonard being Max Crosby's babysitter that's going to say, yeah, let's go ahead and make Rob Leonard the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Someone said definitely not Tyree Wilson. Like, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, did Kuntz get better under Rob?
He said Schwartz still has 2 years left on his contract. I think the Browns might hold him hostage to be a-holes. It's a strong possibility, but he did retire. He resigned. You know what I mean? Usually when you resign, contract gets null and void. You know what I mean? If he'd have just stepped off and, just decided not to show up and then decide to shop himself somewhere else, then it would probably be an issue. But I think because he resigned, he's not being held hostage to the picks, because they get their money. They get to keep their money. They get to hire another defensive coordinator. Everybody gets to move on and go about their way, right? Like, who wants to keep a disgruntled employee anyway? Just because you got a contract? You know what I mean? If he don't want to be there, he don't want to be there. So I feel like he could be available, but I also heard him literally say he doesn't want to coach this year. So I'm not saying I wouldn't take a Schwartz, but from his mouth, he said he had no interest in coaching this year. Same thing as Mike Tomlin. Both said they had no interest in being coaches this year. Rob Leonard might be nice, but I don't think Rob Leonard is qualified to be a defensive coordinator. I mean, if you look him up, he doesn't even have a Wikipedia page to tell you what his career has been, because his career hasn't really been much of anything, honestly. You know what I mean? I think the highest he's gotten is defensive line coach. I mean, run game coordinator / defensive line coach. He hasn't been any higher than that. You know what I mean? So, but who knows?
And Clint Kubiak is a head coach. Why? Because he was a good offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's why I just brought that up. It's not, again, I'm not trying to hate on anybody that truly believes in Rob Leonard, but I'm just saying, think about that. Like, what really has Rob Leonard done on our D line that would make him worthy of a promotion? And again, if you're just using the if you politicking, you know what I'm saying, oh, we gonna put Max just to keep Max happy, you know what I'm saying, and make Max stay, we need to have Rob Leonard. That ain't helping anything.
Facts. Man, we've reached the 2 hours, man. I greatly appreciate everybody stopping by and, you know what I mean, putting their opinions in the chat and taking the time to interact with us, man. I hope you guys have been entertained. I hope that I've done well. Twan, you want to tell the people any last words, my brother?
Hey, look, we got a head coach. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what kind of pieces we're going to get around this head coach. I don't think this head coach is the end all be all. I think that he's better when he actually gets the right pieces around him. And that's it. Definitely, because he's a young coach. He's going to need help. Not necessarily, people older than him, but just people that he can say, hey, this is what you do, handle it, so I don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Bring in guys that can star in their role. I'll just say it like that. Bring in coaches that can star in their role. And I think that's what will make our head coach the head coach that we want for the Raiders. You guys, hey, make sure you guys, I know you guys have listened to me on various platforms. I know some of you guys probably seen some of my shorts pop up. Get ready. Those will be coming to you guys, throughout the week. And then also, if you have not, go over to Raider Twan. Make sure you guys have pushed that subscribe button. So I know a lot of you guys listen, but you guys have not pushed the button. So go ahead and push that button. And hey, I'm not charging you to do it. It's free to do.
Yeah, most definitely. Wild Turkey, I'm sorry, no breaks tonight, brother. I got no clips for you tonight, man. But I will be back tomorrow night, man. Friday Night Lights is the Friday night show from now on. Friday Night Lights. We will be back tomorrow night. Well, is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Friday.
Tomorrow is Friday. I gotta hold on, make sure. Gotta check my group chat real quick. Hold on.
Publicly on record, thank you, Dirty, for having me on your show.
Most definitely, brother. Most definitely. But I'm back up.
I know I don't have to say that, but let me just say it for the record, so people don't think I be thinking I expect to be on this show, because I don't. People don't hit me up like that.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. At 9:00, leading into Black Friday. So Friday Night Lights will be leading into Black Friday on Raider Ben's channel. I'll be here from 9 to about 10:45 tomorrow night, and then at 11 o'clock, it'll be Black Friday over at Raider Ben's channel. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I thank you. I appreciate you, man. 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allow me and my guests to grace your screen for any amount of time has been greatly appreciated. If you don't mind, Charles Washington, my brother, what's good with you, man? Blessings to you. If you guys don't mind, man, like, you know what I mean, share, comment. If you're not sub, you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure everybody here is sub, but if you're not, hey, by all means, go ahead and for me. I greatly appreciate you. Till tomorrow night, guys have a good one.